Hello, my name is Russ Merrick, and I'd like to welcome you to the manufacturing facility of Merrick Machine Company located here in Allen, Nebraska. Today what we have for you, ladies and gentlemen, this is our Triad VersaSteel table. Kind of a redesigned table. You can see a lot of different things that you might not have seen on some of the older tables that we've been making for 20-some years now. Anyway, VersaSteel, go through some of the features and benefits. One of the big features that we have for this year, looking at it, we've actually got 4 screw dollies on here, boys and girls. You've got 2 dollies on the opposite side, 2 on this side. Now, what's the advantage for you, the customer? Why do you care if there's more than 1 dolly? Depends what kind of production you're trying to get out the door, how fast you're trying to run. You're doing lineal feet a day, you're doing how many houses a day. It all varies. Some customers want to have 2 dollies, 1 on either side, and that's it. Other customers are like, hey, let's go ahead and do this. Some customers are actually pre-drilling. So they're going to have 2 drills, top and bottom, coming in, screwing through the stud, the plate, and so forth. Then they bring the other dolly. One guy actually pre-drills everything, and the other guy chases him back down and starts putting in all the screws. Okay? So things to think about. Not for every operation, not for every customer. Now, these screw dollies, if you look right away, you'll notice, there's no guns. How about that? Ideally, we can go ahead and install machinery. There's no guns on it at the install. We like them to be there, or just a little bit ahead of time. I'd rather have them here on the dollies. Makes the install a lot smoother and easier. We're running on a V-groove rail, okay, top and bottom, whether it's this side or the opposite side, the fixed side of the table on your left-hand side. Why do we do that? The V-groove rail runs nice and easy, nice and smooth. Not a big deal. The rail system, we've done this for a good number of years, over 35 years. It's been a proven system. A lot of people copied us on the same programs. We actually have a rock and pinion drive system. Let me walk a little closer. That might be blocking your vantage point from the camera. We've got a gearbox and a brake on here that actually, they go ahead and drive a spur gear that runs back and forth. So you can actually run this thing all the way down if you want to do a knee wall, for example. You want to do a 9'3", 10'3", 12'3". This actually goes out to 16 feet. Now, we can make the table whatever length the customer's looking for, whatever you guys are selling, your salespeople. So in this case, this is going to be a 20-foot table. We've made these 80 foot long. What do you need? We'll try and work within your pocketbook and help us out. We've actually got flippers on here. These are cast iron stud locators. We use the cast iron because they're pretty bulletproof. They last a long time. They're counterbalanced. So if you want to put a stud on here, a pack or a partition lead in or a header, everything will just sit right on it. Otherwise, you're going to take your stud and rest it right up against it. If you want to do 16 and 24 inch on center, okay, you're going to go ahead and use the yellow ones for a 12 inch on center and the blue ones for 16 inch on center, and vice versa as you move through the wall. Real simple, real easy. We've actually got a flipper bracket here, kind of a flipper bracket. It's all spring loaded. Your plate sits right on here, and then your studs actually come in, twist them in, they're locked in place. This allows you, with the screw dolly, when the screw dolly comes by, the back end will actually push it out of the way, depending on which dolly you're using and what direction you're going. So if we have to screw exactly where this is, this gets out of the way and lets us put a screw in the necessary areas. Nice little feature. If you're not using one of these flippers in some areas, you've got multiples all the way down the table, not only on the right-hand side, but the left-hand side, the fixed side. Real sexy thing to have. For the most part, screw dollies are real simple. We'll mount anybody's screw gun. You just tell us what brand. Whoever gives you the best service is who you need to run with, guys, gals, okay? If they got good service in your local area, you can count on them. You've got good support. They got fasteners in stock. That's probably who you want. All right, once again, we'll mount anybody's screw guns that are on here. You've actually got red handles on both sides. There's 2 of them, okay? And there's a push button control, 1 for each thumb. So when you get in a position where you want it, you go ahead and push down, away you go. Now, you can buy the optional laser, which will actually shine down onto the stud and show you where you're going, okay? And or you can just eyeball it, because the screw gun body is actually going to be sticking right down here. Now, you can do 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, and we can actually go higher than that if you need us to. You got, once again, tell us what you're hunting for. What are your needs your customers are trying to, get out of you? What market are you attacking? Anyway, the dollies are real simple. They run the length of the table. They go back and forth either side. There's a center support bar. Well, why does the customer need a center support bar? Who cares about a center support bar? Well, if you've got this table really spread out, you're trying to build floors, different configurations on this wall, you want to go ahead and throw some studs across. Instead of having the studs fall down, this actually helps keep it in place where you want it. All right? So a guy can actually come in here, sprinkle stuff down, drag it across, and get it onto the adjustable side. Now, this is a long table, so you're actually going to have 2 motors. Depends on the length of the table. Some have 3, some have 2, some have 1. Once again, it's all determined by the length. Now, this center support bar is adjustable. Let's say we want to take the right-hand side, which is the adjustable side over here in your vantage point, and you want to bring it all the way in here, and you want to do knee walls. You can actually take the center support bar, loosen it up, and put it about where you want it, okay? So it can slide all the way over, or you can take it out for that matter. Real quick, okay, so on the left-hand side of the screen here, this is the fixed side of the table. The dollies are identical in every way. What you have now, down underneath the dolly rail here, you've got 4 push buttons, okay? One that says in as far as the adjustable side coming in and out, okay? From the right-hand side over to the left-hand side from your vantage point. And then you've got pop-up rollers. So, all right, the adjustable side of the table on the right-hand side of the screen, on the 4 buttons, I'm going to hit the green button on the left-hand side, and the adjustable side starts to roll in on the rack and pinion. So from your vantage point, you should see that side of the table. The side that I'm on, the left-hand side, is the fixed side of the table. Now, the noise that you're actually hearing on the rack and pinion, we've actually got a blower nozzle. Right here's a blower nozzle. Well, what's the advantage to you, the customer? Well, we're actually blowing air down into the rack and pinion to get all the debris, the shavings, screws that might be in there, and get them out of the way as the table starts to run in or as the table starts to run out. Big advantage, because you don't want to, that's got to be running all the time. Every time you hit the button, the blower rack comes on. Every time you run out, the blower nozzle is going to come back on also. Those are actually set at the install. You've got a torque limiter on there. There's 2 torque limiters on each one of the motors has a torque limiter. And for some reason, if you came in and the guys kept pressing a button and they ran into the center support bar, it's just going to sit there and start slipping, and it won't push this out of the way. So it's not going to sit there and grind or bust chains or blow through sprockets. Okay, torque limiter is a real neat feature. We've also got, once again, I said we had 4 push buttons. You've got another green button for popping up all your skate wheel rollers. Now, what do you need the skate wheel rollers for? They're all your components. So if you want to roll in, say, a door and window buck and all the studs on top of it, you can actually roll it into the table, go ahead and drop the table back down, or at least drop the skate wheels back down, and now your spucks, once everything's in place, now you can start sprinkling your studs around your door and window openings, okay? Once again, real simple. You got a green button for up, you got a yellow button for down. Same principle as far as you got a yellow button for running it out and a green button for running the adjustable side, the right-hand side in. This is a fixed side, it doesn't go anywhere. You can get an adjustable side on the fixed side occasionally. We've done that before. It depends on what your needs are and how, you know, some things are radical that you're doing. If you're just doing general production, this will get you, 99% of the time. Now, you've got push buttons on the fixed end of the table on the start in, and also on the outfeed end of the table. There's another set of controls, identical in every way. The buttons are also color-coded the same, and either one can work for whatever your needs are. Everything on these dollies is actually electrified. You run the screw guns, we're powering things up and down. Once again, you can have the laser. This particular one doesn't have the laser. On the other side, we do have a laser installed. Anyway, for the most part, there's a gore track you can't see from your vantage point, but I'll try and run down here. We've actually got a gore track itself. It runs in a big trough here, and everything is tucked up inside the machine, so it's protected, out of the way. Guys aren't tripping over it. It's not a hey, I'm going to ding my shoe or my foot on it, that type thing. The other thing that comes with this is a tweaker, we call it. And if you're coming in here and you've got a plate, you've got your plate in here, you've got your stud coming in here, and you got to pull this over for some reason, and you're trying to adjust it, you can actually pull that stud across. Now, if you're doing light gauge stuff, it's not a big deal. If you're doing some heavy gauge stuff, sometimes you need just a little bit of leverage to get it where you go. There's adjustment in here as far as raising the tool up and down, as far as your stroke goes, depending if you're doing 2x4, 2x6, 2x8. You've got a main air connect. I'm going to walk around to the center of the table. So on the center table, you've got a main disconnect where your power is actually going to go. We want you to hog wire that right in, gentlemen, so get your electrician to come in and so forth. You've got a main air line. We just have a temporary line hooked up for here, but ideally you're going to want at least a 1-inch line feeding this table so we don't starve the guns, okay, at any point in time. And not that the machine uses a lot, but the rest of your shop, if they're running pneumatic guns on any other thing, you could actually starve this machine because they're consuming so much. So the more you can feed this regulator, the better off you're going to be. So you've got 2 main hookups. You've got your electrical and you got your air, and they're all in the exit end, the off feed end of the table. You've got floor grates here in the center. This is our newer version of the floor grate system. Works pretty well. You've got some non-slick sticky stuff on here. Think of it like sand. It's not really sand, but gives you good traction so you can walk across here. What's the advantage of having this table open for you, the customer? Well, ideally, you get everything done. Your steel wall's already set up. It's already built. Guy can come in here and actually walk across it, okay, and push the wall right on out if they want. You can also stand inside of here and straddle a few things. You've got to do blocking of some kind. Maybe there's fire blocking. You have to actually put some other components inside. That allows you to get in and out. It's real easy, real simple. This is a Triad VersaSteel framing table. You can come look us up online. Our phone number is 1-800-568-7423. My name is Russ Merrick, and once again, I'd like to thank you for your time.